question is coming to us from the United Kingdom. We've got Alexandra
UK,
who would
everybody
love
give it
to
up for the UK! Give it up for the UK!
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
What's your question? Is it Alexandra? Is that right?
It is, yeah. Hi, good to be
Nice to
here.
meet you.
So when selecting your life partner and doubts start to creep in, how can you recognise the difference between your gut instinct and your own limiting beliefs?
That's a great question. What doubts are creeping in, specifically?
Oh, just, is this the right person? Am I getting it wrong again? It's just like a bit of a cycle that I go through, and then I end up blaming myself and working on myself lots to stay, and that's it.
So a couple things. First of all, we all have questions that we ask a lot. And in my Date with Destiny, I teach people that everyone has a primary question, one question you ask more often than anything else. Some people's question they ask unconsciously all the time is, what's wrong with me? And it doesn't matter what you teach them what they'll do, as long as you keep saying, what's wrong with me, seek and you shall find. The brain will go, this is wrong, that is wrong, this is wrong. And then you feel overwhelmed. My wife has a beautiful question. When I met her, I was blown away by her question. It's like, what's beautiful about this? What's great about this, right? She finds the beauty in everything. In fact, she's a little crazy if things are nuts until she can find what's great about it. And when she finds what's great, it heals it. Mine was, how do I make it better? And you can see how that shaped my whole life. I'm constantly figuring out how to make it better. But the problem is, if you're trying to make it better and someone doesn't want it to be better, it's not very appreciated, right? So we all have primary questions. I don't know if you know your primary question or not, but we also have primary questions in our relationship. And it won't matter who you're with. If you keep questioning, you'll produce doubt. And then doubt and uncertainty makes the survival mind go crazy. So some people's question is like, did I settle? What if they leave me? What if they cheat on me? And then what that does is produce fear. And in a state of fear, we behave in a way that pushes people away from us. We may not even see it, but it's unconscious and we do it. Now, my question with my wife, I have a primary question in my relationship. How did I get so lucky to get you? I mean, sincerely, it's like, I ask that all the time. We've been together 22 years. It's like, so when you keep asking that, it makes you feel more and more grateful. However, there is also instinct, and then there's fear. And it's hard sometimes to tell the difference because you feel it in your gut either way, right? The habit of fear feels like instinct. How do you know the difference? Well, if you're looking at your partner through the lens of your past experiences, which is what most of us do, you're not experiencing your partner. You're experiencing your own triggers, your own fears, your own worries. And relationship brings up more fear than just about anything on earth because everybody's afraid at the deepest level. Our two deepest fears is that we're not enough, and if we're not enough, we won't be loved. Everybody has that. CEOs have that. Presidents of countries have that. Children have that. Now, you may not feel it in every moment, but the one place where that fear can come up more than anywhere else is with someone whose love you crave or want to have. And if you feel like you're not enough, that brings up fear, and out of fear, we try to protect ourselves. A lot of times, I see this in females a lot. This is not a generalization. It's a pattern that you'll see, and women who are listening will probably confirm this. Sometimes women, when things are going really well, they've had some bad experiences in the past, and because relationship is so valued, they oftentimes will actually pull back or push back because it's a test to see, will you still stay with me even if I'm not so nice? But then men don't understand that sometimes. And this can also, by the way, happen in a gay relationship as well, because in a gay relationship, if there's passion, there's usually one that has more masculine energy and one that has more female energy, right? That's just how it works. So what's instinct and what's fear? That's more art than science. You got to look and say, am I looking at this person through what's happened to me in the past? And that's fear. If you're seeing something in your gut's like, oh, there's something that isn't right, and you're looking at that, then you got to address it. And you got to address it in the most warm and loving way as your responsibility. Saying, I tell people is like, you're feeling a little resistance, right? And you don't deal with it, it'll turn to resentment. And if you don't deal with that, it'll turn to rejection. And if you don't do that, you'll finally just go to a point where you repress and you guys just hang out together and there's no passion or aliveness. You see couples like that. They don't fight, they've been together forever, but there's no relationship. Those are the stages. So when you're first feeling that resistance, like he says something or does something or whatever, the beautiful thing is take responsibility and say, honey, you might feel some tension in me right now. If you do, it's not about you. It's just really, I've had these triggers in the past, And I let them get triggered. And I just want you to know it's not about you. And when you said that, I felt this feeling, but it's not you, it's me. And if you'll do it where you're not making the other person wrong, it'll usually bring them into a conversation with you versus we need to talk or not saying anything and storing the fear inside yourself. Both those are mistakes. You want to deal with a monster when it's little, not when it's Godzilla eating your relationship and eating the whole city of London, right? So if you can come forward from a place of ownership, not like, oh, you're triggering me, just like, honey, if you felt this in me, I just want to be honest, it has nothing to do with you. I got these triggers and sometimes it produces fear in me and I just want you to know I'm really sorry and I'm working on myself. And then you'll see whether they move towards or away from you in that connection. But I can also tell you that, there's 3 levels of relationship, 3 dimensions of relationship. Everybody should jot this down and then give yourself a real honest answer. The first dimension is one-dimensional relationship. A one-dimensional relationship when it's all about yourself. It's, if you're not getting what you want, you're out of here. If they're not getting what they're out of here. That relationship is it's like baby love. Babies, I ask people, are babies loving? I'm privileged to have a 5.5-year-old daughter, love and adore like you can't imagine. And of course she's loving, but all her needs are met. It's like when babies' needs aren't met, they usually kind of let you know in a lot of ways. And so some people are 40 and they're still using baby love, one-dimensional love. Like, I'll give you love as long as I get it. That's a transaction. And we've all done this. Anybody who's honest has done this. I'm sure you have, I have too. But it doesn't lead to a great relationship. And you're gonna think it's them when it's really you. Now, a two-dimensional relationship, it came out of the 1970s. The society for centuries was dominated by testosterone. Whether it be masculine people or not, or a masculine person or not, doesn't matter, it be masculine energy. They would dominate. And so it's been an imbalance in society. And, for thousands of years, there was a structure, right? Survival. Women risk their lives to have children, species continue. Men risk their lives by going out and fighting to bring back the food and so forth. Well, today, a woman can do anything a man can do. A man can do things women can do. A woman can do things a man can't do. She can have a child without a man because of science. So there's no more a limit of you have to be one role and I have to be another. And so what happened in the 1970s is there was a revolution and women said, I want a man that is more sensitive, that is more caring, that is more nice, that is more warm. And they got them. And then they despised them. They liked them initially. They could go shopping with them. They were warm. They were like a girlfriend. But what they were missing is that opposite energy that makes a feminine energy feel alive. Now, by the way, every woman has masculine and feminine. Every man has masculine and feminine. In fact, the most successful people have access to both. I have access to both. My wife has access to both. She's got more masculine than most men I know, and she's got more feminine than most women I know. And so the more you develop both, it's not a one-dimensional thing, the more you can interact. But in a relationship, you got to be able to have that opposite energy or you won't feel alive. And so a lot of people were taught a relationship's about equality. But when you create equality, there's no polarity. See, there's energy on this earth because there's a north and south pole. They're opposite energies. That's what produces energy and life. If most countries in the world, you've got a plug and it has opposite energies, like 2 plugs. Those opposite energies come in to produce electricity. Opposite energies, whether it's a same-sex relationship or heterosexual relationship, doesn't matter. Opposite energies creates that passion and that aliveness. But what's happened is, culturally, because things are so imbalanced, now everybody wants things to be equal. And there are a lot of young men, they want to find a woman that'll support them. I want to just punch them in the head. Like, what has happened to you? You lost your brain. You're never going to be happy that way, right? But what happens is the rules of society change, and so all of a sudden we have this equal relationship and no polarity. So you have a lot of people that love each other, but there's no passion, because you can't have passion when we're the same, right? And then the third dimension of relationship is when your needs are my needs. See, dimension number 2, you goes, I want you to be happy, but you got to do your part. I can't do it for you, which sounds perfectly logical. It is logical, but it won't create a great relationship. Because it makes the person feel yuck, right? Like, you're only here for me if I'm a certain way. When you get to a 3-dimensional relationship, a full-blown relationship, you get lit up by meeting your partner's needs. Like in the beginning, most people get excited. They'll do anything to light up their partner, and it makes you happy to make them happy. But after 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 years, or 70 years, somewhere between 7 days and 70 years, you go, in the beginning, if they said, would you take out the trash? Take out the trash, of course, what can I do for you, right? But after that time period, take out the trash, what do I look like, your janitor? Right? And you go, well, where'd the passion go? Right? Because you've changed to a transaction. You've changed it, what you're getting or not getting. The minute you measure in a relationship, it's already over, right? You've ended the quality relation. Now, you could reignite it by stopping measuring. But if you're like, I'm doing this and they're not doing that, if you're playing that game, you're really not in a relationship, you're in a transaction. And there's nothing wrong with a transaction, but it's not going to leave you fulfilled. So here's what I'd suggest to you. People all the time say, how do I know? How do I know? Well, one way you know is you feel your gut, but another way, and trying to separate from your fears, but the best way is, if you've been in anything I do, I teach there's 6 needs. I'm going to try and teach them all right now, but I'll just give you the highlight. Everybody needs certainty. Certainty they can be comfortable, that they can ideally not have too much pain, and ideally have some comfort. Everybody needs uncertainty. We need variety. We need surprise to feel alive. If there's not enough variety, we feel dead inside. Too much variety, we freak out. Too little, we don't feel alive. So you got certainty and uncertainty. We need both. That's why people get so screwed up. They work so hard to be certain and then they're bored. They work so hard to have uncertain and they kind of freak out. And the lukewarm middle is not what you want either. It's learning how to have both. In a relationship, you need both, right? You want to be certain they're going to be there for you, but you want variety or you get bored. Third, you need a feeling of significance. We all need to feel important or special. Everybody has that need. Now, some people try to do it through money. Some people try to do it by knowing more about sports. Some people try to do it by having more earrings or tattoos, but we all have to find a way to do it, right? You can do it by significantly good things. You can do it by doing significantly bad things that people pay attention to. But we all need to feel unique, special, important. And then we also need, and that's unique, then we need 4, we need to feel unified. We need love. We need love and connection. So some people are trying to be their own self and they feel alone. And then they get with somebody and it feels great when they go, but who am I? And they got this fight between significance and connection, right? And then there's growth, which is the spiritual need, and contribution, which are the spiritual needs, the ones that actually fulfill you. Now, you can meet your certainty by smoking a cigarette. You can meet certainty by tearing people down. You get certainty by a good workout. You can meet certainty in a positive way or a negative way. You can get certainty by eating, and it calms you down, by overeating. So you can meet these needs in positive ways or negative ways. But you got to look at yourself and your partner. So let me ask you about the person you're with. What's his name? Is it him?
His name's Dan.
Okay. So Dan, let me ask you this. How certain are you that he loves you on a 0 to 10 scale?
3.
Okay. Tell me why.
Because what he says and what he does are 2 different things. He doesn't behave like he loves me, if you like.
Okay.
But he
So let me point something out, which is really important. Everyone has different beliefs about what does it take to be certain or successful or anything. Some people to be successful, they have to make $1 billion. Someone else to be successful, if they wake up, look down and see they're above ground. Every day above ground is a great day. So your rules for being loved is he has to behave a certain way. How is he behaving different than you want to feel certain?
Well, I like sort of affection, like touch and words, whereas he's very much the opposite. He's more the doing man. So I'm aware that our languages are different, and I have suggested, which I know is wrong, please could you do that? But he just can't. So therefore I don't feel it.
Okay, so I get it. So I want everybody here, 2 people can have the same needs, but they have different rules, different beliefs about what has to happen to feel it. So it doesn't mean he doesn't love her, but his style of communicating is different. And by the way, she would be attracted to someone who didn't do all those things initially because it's the opposite of her. He can do certain things because he's not that way that she likes. But now she's with him, oh my God, he doesn't love me. Well, it may not be true he doesn't love you. It might be just he expressed love very differently. So I hear that. Variety. How much variety do you have with him? Surprise. Feelings of surprise or variety.
Not an awful lot. We've been together only a short time, 5 months. So it's still growing, really.
Okay. So this is what women do. They pick a man who they think they can grow, right? They think they're going to make him a better man. And it never works, because if you do make him the man you want, you won't respect him because it means you created him. He's not himself. But this is a common mistake on the female gender. It's just a part of the mindset. I'm going to take it better. It's part of the same thing that makes a woman a great mom. This nurturing, this desire to help them to become more. It's beautiful with your child, doesn't work with a man, right? So she's thinking she'll get him to have more variety, okay? How significant do you feel with him, 0 to 10?
Again, not a lot at all. 3. Important, yes, 8.
Important 8. Okay, well then why'd you say 3? I'm confused.
Oh, significant was
yes, feeling
3.
important. So you feel like an 8. So what does he do that makes you feel important or significant? Wanted, needed, desired?
That he talks about the future and he's very certain that I'm in it. And that makes me feel like I'm important to him.
So I want you to notice, he meets your need for significance and he's certain you're in it, but when I ask you to certain he loves you, you told me not so much, 3. And you didn't do it because he doesn't love you, you did it because his way of communicating is different than yours. Yet somehow he's making you feel significant because your rule there is if you talk about the future and I'm in it, I'm important, which is true. How much love do you think he has for you, 0 to 10?
I'm going to say 5. I'm going to say middle.
And why is it only 5? Why are you not sure? He's certain you're his future and he feels certain about it, but you're not sure he loves you. Why would he plan a future with you and be certain you're in it if he doesn't love you? So why do you feel loved at a 5 versus what would he do different if he loved you at a 9?
He'd be saying all the lovely gushy things and cuddling me and just being really affectionate.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we discovered the whole problem is not him. The whole problem is you have different love languages. I taught this before the book Love Languages ever existed. But if you're familiar with it, there's a gentleman who wrote a book on this as well, right? So he expresses love differently than you, so you're missing in the night. How much do you grow being around him or feel a sense of growth around him? 0 to 10.
0. And all of the growth that I'm doing personally, we're on completely different wavelengths with all this stuff. Yeah.
So does that mean that he grows in his business but not himself personal development-wise?
No, both. He's not interested in either. He's just very happy doing his simple, normal life, which is great, and I admire that sometimes. But I'm on a different.
Are you all seeing this? I admire that sometimes. Read between the lines, and I'll show you how much I admire that. Right? All right. And then the color of your skin changed very radically when we had that conversation, by the way, just so you know. You're very, very pink. So tell me, that's good blood flow. And what about contribution? Do you feel a sense of contribution with him? And if so, 0 to 10, where do you put it?
Contribution being, could you explain that?
Yeah, that being together, you want to contribute to him, grow to him, or you feel he wants to help you contribute to you in some way.
Yes. I can't answer that. I actually can't answer that. I'm sorry. I don't know.
You can't answer that.
There's not a lot of that going on either side.
Well, you can't answer it. 0 to 10. How can you answer that? What would the number be? I know you don't want to answer it, but you can't.
Let's say 2. Let's say 2.
Good. Now, that's your experience of him. Let's reverse for a second, because people just get in their head about themselves. 0 to 10, how much certainty do you give him? Oh,
probably
this is
a 3. Recently, more a 3, because I keep questioning things.
Yes. And by the way, the more you question, the less affection he's going to be. Because he's going to feel that. And since it's not his style anyway, and then he's feeling uncertain after he's told you you're his entire future and he's certain he's in it. So you got to mirror back right now. What you're putting out is what you're getting back. And then how much variety would he say you bring to his life? Surprise. So I want you to notice what most people do is what I did up front. They may not have the skill to know which needs, but they think about what needs of theirs are not being met. But they don't switch the thing and see, what am I doing here? It's just human nature, right? you're not a bad person. We all do this at times. But if you want a great life, your focus has got to be on what am I giving, not just what am I getting. If you focus on what you're getting, it's already over. That means you got a level 1 relationship or a level 2 at best, right? And so I'm not being critical. I hope you feel me. I'm just trying to guide you to where you can see some things, and you're being really honest. Let's give her a hand, by the way, for her vulnerability and honesty. We really appreciate that. You're doing this the way you are. Your vulnerability and your honesty is really beautiful. We really thank you sincerely. So let me ask you, how much variety would he say you bring to him, 0 to 10? Surprise.
I would say 8.
Okay, great. And that feels authentic to you. It looked like a 7, and you gave yourself an 8. I don't know if I'm misreading you or not. Am I misreading you, or is it more a 7? Yeah, I can see.
Okay, let's say 7.
I could just see. How many saw the little tension in her face? So when she said 8, I knew it wasn't really an 8. She wants to feel a little better about herself, so she just upped the number. Not by much, just by 1. Okay. How significant would he say you make him feel? How significant? How important? 0 to 10.
Based on what we've been saying, probably a 3, but I think I try and make him feel significant from what I say. I try and give 10, but he probably just feels a 3.
Well, if you know that, then we know where the problems are, don't we? Right? And then how much would he say you love him, 0 to 10, if I asked him? By the way, if he was here, I'd be asking these questions. That's what I do. But he's not, so I'm asking you to be as honest as you can with yourself.
A 5.
Same number that you feel for him. Isn't that interesting? Same number you had on certainty was one you had there as well. You might be having a mirror here and you're thinking it's the other person. I don't know, but it's worth questioning, isn't it? What about growth? How much would he say you help him to grow? 0 to 10.
One.
By the way, I really thank you for this level of honesty. It's hard to do this kind of work, but when you do, you can get clarity and then you can free yourself. So are you starting to see a pattern here?
I am,
right?
I think, yes, thank you.
And how much contribution would he say you create within him, 0 to 10?
Maybe a 5.
Yeah. So what do you learn by doing this little set of questions right now? Tell me what you've perceived. What do you notice? What's really going on here?
Yeah, I'm reflecting myself back, aren't I? From the way I'm being towards him, I'm just reflecting that back in the way he's behaving towards me. Yes.
And then that's producing more uncertainty in you. And then that's producing more, it would shut down your radiance, right? One of the great gifts that any female energy has, like a lot of women think men have all the power. If a woman who is radiant doesn't mean she looks a certain way. She's happy, she's fulfilled, she feels great. Her radiance, every man looks, they can't help it. It's not even her body, it's just this energy. It's what feminine energy does. It's the power you have. But when you dim your radiance by constantly doubting, then you don't even get to know who he is. I don't know if he's the right guy or not, but I know right now he doesn't look like a right guy, but I don't know it's him. That's why people leave a relationship and then they go to another one, and then you take your fears from the last relationship and if he does anything that looks like that, oh my God, you pull back. And as you pull back, he doesn't feel your radiance, so he doesn't feel your love, so he begins to question. And then he's trying to reassure you, I'm committed to you. And you're like, yeah, that's great. Right? And so it goes down a rabbit hole. So here's what you can do if you want to shift it. First of all, you've done the hardest piece right now. You've been really honest with yourself, which it's really hard to do. It's like why you gave yourself one more than you really had from 7 to 8 as an example, right? It was a minor version of it, but I could read you like a book. I could see it, right? And so, but you were really honest. You answered some tough questions for yourself. So now you know the truth. This relationship's going to go nowhere because you're not vested. You're vested in doubting. You're vested in noticing what you're not getting instead of what you are getting. And that's a recipe for disaster in any relationship. It won't matter who you're with. It won't work. So first of all, I got a pattern going here that won't support any relationship. Now, whether he's the right one or I don't know. He doesn't match your view of what an achiever is. It sounds like you want a man that's more driven, but you like the fact that he was happy. But now you're with him, that's not enough. You want a guy more driven, right? And so he doesn't seem to be that much. So that's another reason why you're questioning. So very often women look for a man that's nice and controllable. And then the problem is you get a man that's controllable and you don't respect him. And so then it's hard to have passion when you don't respect a man. He can be your friend, he can be a nice guy, but it drifts into nothingness. You need a man who knows where the hell he's going, what he wants. That's what you really want. Now, he might become that man, but not because you shape him into it. And he might not. Everyone has different ways of living. His model of the world might be enjoy life. That's a pretty beautiful model, but it's not what you're looking for in your current perception of what you want in a man. So if you want to know what's possible, if you want to never have regret in a relationship, for everyone listening, because I know there's some of you who are in a great relationship and there's love and passion. Some of you have love, but not enough passion because you've lost the polarity. You're making everything equal, right? Or you're pissed at each other because you keep measuring. Or some of you are planning your escape. When my children get into high school, that's when I'm leaving. But they're 4. It's a problem, right? You're not going to make that happen all that time, right? So the way to know is to say for the next 90 days, if you're willing to, or 60, since you only known him for 5 months, what if the next 60 days you were completely unselfish? You decided, I'm going to be courageous. I'm going to put my fear aside. If it comes up, I'm going to put it aside. And I'm going to meet all 6 of his needs the way he wants them. I'm going to figure out what makes him feel loved. Because it's different. By the way, some of you, your wife or husband or boyfriend or girlfriend says, they think you're loving them if you take out the trash. You go, take out trash isn't love. That's why I made enough money so someone else could take out the trash. But, if that's their view of love and you're not willing to do it, they're not going to feel loved. Now, it can eventually change, but not until you first meet it. So if you can find out what really makes him feel loved most, what makes him feel most significant, what makes him feel variety, what makes him feel certain, what makes him feel growth in the way he wants to grow, contribution. And you said for the next 60 days, my project is to blow this man away with more love, unconditional love in all these areas, not focusing on myself. You go, Tony, what about me? This is not about you. Because if you do that for 60 days, one of two things are going to happen. He's going to be so filled up. He's going to be so overjoyed, he's going to be figuring out how to meet your needs. Or if he doesn't, it's just him. You'll know he's not the right guy, and you've lost nothing. In fact, you've gained the most important thing of all. You become a greater lover. Because if you really love someone unconditionally and give, and they're not the right one, you'll have no regrets. You'll know he's not the right one, and you'll be a stronger lover for the person that you deserve to be in the future. But if you sit around and doubt shit all the time, there's no relationship that'll work. And you're going to have doubt anytime you get scared, and you're going to get scared anytime you feel like you're not enough and you won't be loved. However, if you do this for him and you light him up like a Christmas tree, then you could say, honey, you know how you feel when I do this and this because that's what makes you feel this? Can I show you something? Give me your hand. And you touch me like this, or when you look at me like this, or when you say that, that's what it does to me. It would mean the world to me if you do that. But you've given first for 60 days. Then if he's your love, he will adapt. But right now you're asking him to do something that's alien to him while simultaneously you're sending signals of uncertainty when he's just told you he wants to be with you forever. And then you go like, I don't know. Can you see what's really happening now? So would you willing to go 30 or 60 days to fulfilling him, not with I'm fulfilling him as a trade. I'm fulfilling him because I'm a lover. When I give love, I get to feel the love I give. Everything else is just a reaction of bullshit. And then, if I've done that for 30 or 60 days and I truly have made him first in all those ways, then I can translate for him. When I do this for you, I've learned that, and you can ask him, what makes you feel more love? Is it the way I look at you? Is it the way I touch you? Is it what I do for you? You ask, because you know what we all do? We all give other people what we want. And you think that's what makes him feel love, and it may. It may be something else as well. So it's time to translate. And there's no downside for you if you'll go 30 or 60 days given like this, because you will become a better lover and you'll have no regret. You won't question. If you've given your all sincerely, not a trade, not what am I getting, it's just, I'm going to love this person like I'd love my child. One of the things about kids is most parents, most moms have a great relationship with their kid, at least till they're 16, 17, or 18, right? And then there's sometimes a little challenge for a short time. But why? Because you love them no matter what. You don't love them if they touch you right. They don't love them because they say the right things to you. You just chosen to love them. And nothing's going to shake that. That's why most people have a great love with their child and not a great love in their intimate relationships. They have all these rules. If you do this, then I don't love you. Do that, I don't love you. Get rid of your rules and become a lover, and I guarantee you one of two things. You'll have the best relationship with this man, or you'll end it with no regret, and you will be a better lover, and you will attract a man who will feel that in you. And you'll have that happy ever after experience that everybody perceives that they want to have, but very few people ever earn. You don't get it by luck. You get it by being a giver. You give it by being a lover. Be a generous lover. Go first in the way they want love, not the way you want to give it, and then you can help them translate. Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, that's.
Tell me what you're going to do, though. I don't want to hear what's helpful. Tell me what are you going to do?
I'm just going to put all my love on him, give him everything he needs, what he wants, and just come from a place of pure love, and just see what happens. Just see what happens, and if anything comes up,
don't measure it the first day of the first week. If you're going to feel it, you're going to want to measure. If you do that, it'll kill it because he'll feel you measuring it. And ask him. And men don't answer very well, but watch what he does with his face and his body. Yes, I'm saying, so men don't answer very well because it's kind of uncomfortable. It's not a subject. Men don't talk about their relationships with even other men. It's a different thing. It's a different species. But you can watch, you can test, you can touch him a certain way and see. You can talk to him a certain way and just become a student of him. And not like, I'm just going to fill him up. No. I'm going to be a great lover. I'm going to be an unbelievably generous lover. I'm going to love him like I've never loved before this man. And then if it ends up not being it, I'll have loved him, I'll have no regret, and I'll be a better lover. It's got to be that. It can't be I'm filling his needs just to fill his needs, because a part of you will resent that. Because there's a part of you that, which level have you been playing? Dimension 1, 2, or 3, if you're honest?
I always start in 3, but I've definitely gone down to 2 and 1.
Yeah. And that the wrong sequence for a great relationship, right? So you got to start in 3 and stay in 3. That's the difference. And it's what you do when it's hard that makes a relationship great. I have this beautiful relationship, and I'm blessed by God to be in this relationship with Sage, but also we both earned it. Like women come to me and go, oh, your wife is so lucky. I go, you're so full of it. You have no idea. I'm a handful, right? She's incredible. And, vice versa. We love each other at that level. We love each other no matter what. Not if I meet her needs or she meets my needs. In fact, our fights is I'm trying to do something for her and she's trying to do it for me, and we're fighting over that. Those are fun fights. That's what you deserve to have, but you can't have it till you deliver that consistently first. All right? Okay. You've been beautiful. Yeah. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you about what you do. I don't care if it ends or not. What I care is that you give your all. How long are you to give your all for? 30 or 60 days? Tell me what's real.
60. I'll do 60.
Okay, that's awesome. If you do it for 60 days, this will be one of the best 60 days of your life. I really honor you. Thank you for sharing with us, you beautiful soul. Give it up for her, ladies and gentlemen. It's Alexandra.